Welcome back to our list of the top 10 greatest Kansas City Royals hitters of all time. Before we unveil number 1, let's review the list. Coming in at number 10, Lou Piniella.
Lou, probably the first star the Royals ever had. Of course, he won the Rookie of the Year in the first year of our existence. Gave the franchise credibility in the start.
At number 9, John Mayberry.
John Mayberry is a guy that gave them their first true slugger that could take you deep over the wall.
Number 8, Danny Tartabull.
The only Kansas City Royal to have 30 home runs in a season more than once. He's the only guy on that top 10 list. He had a 34 home run season and a 30 home run season.
Coming in at number 7, Mike Sweeney.
When you look back at Mike Sweeney 20 years from now, you'll kind of realize how great of a player he was and the kind of person. He was an even better person, but he was a fantastic hitter. Can you imagine him in the lineup that the Royals have today?
At number 6, Carlos Beltran.
You know, Carlos Beltran was important because he could beat you from both sides of the plate. You know, he was like most switch hitters, he was better left-handed, but you know, he became a guy that you could build a lineup around.
Number 5, Frank White.
He kind of made himself into a great hitter, and that happens over time. I think if you're in the game long enough and you're smart, you just work on that skill set. You work on what you're not good at, and what Frank could do is pick.
Coming in at number 4, Amos Otis.
Amos Otis was the original Kansas City Royal star. Before there was a George Brett, there was Amos Otis. I loved him.
At number 3, Willie Wilson.
I don't think the Royals have had anybody faster as far as pure player. Just, you know, when he hit a ball in the gap, you knew it was a certain triple or an inside the park home run. He could fly around the bases.
Number 2, Hal McRae.
When you think of Hal McRae, you think of if you needed a hit other than Brett and you had to have a guy at bat in that era, I don't think it's Willie Wilson. I think it's Hal McRae.
And coming in at number 1, George Brett.
Well, I think everybody's going to say the same thing. George Brett is Mr. Kansas City. I mean, what more need to be said other than when the President of the United States lands in Kansas City twice, it was Bush. The guy that picked him up at the airport was George Brett.
George obviously was the best hitter the Royals have had. I mean, you can't deny that. 3,154 hits, 3 batting titles in 3 different decades, 13-time All-Star. Just the greatest pure hitter the Royals have ever had, and yeah, absolutely should be number 1.
George, there's no argument, by far, in a way, the best Royal player, period, including if I had to put pitchers up, because sometimes we only look at the offense and don't consider pitchers, but if I had to throw the pitchers in, as far as quality of what they did for the team, it's still Brett.
Asking about George Brett as the greatest hitter in Kansas City Royals history is definitely a rhetorical question.
Let's look at it this way. Since the Brett era, who has been a close second?
What George Brett did for the Royals, I mean, he was the pillar of this organization. I was there that day in 1980 when he was over 400 in August and stood on the base and raised his arms up in the air. I can still vividly remember that.
There's nobody you can even mention in the same breath as a guy that almost hit 400, 3-time batting champion in 3 decades, which I don't think anyone else has ever done, including Pete Rose.
He leads the team in home runs, RBIs, so yeah, but he's remembered for his clutch hitting and those playoff wins and the Gossage home runs, so Brett's an easy pick there.
Thanks for watching our list of the top 10 greatest Kansas City Royals hitters of all time. We look forward to counting down with you next time.